Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk about solving rational equations. Here are the two problems that we'll do. To see where this falls in the grand scheme of everything and on the ACT math section, this would be Algebra 2. Rational functions is one of the main topics. This specifically is solving equations with rationals. Okay, to make sure that we don't take ourselves too seriously, let's think about the fun question as we go. What is the most important quality that you look for in a friend? Okay. Number one thing I'm noticing when I look at problems like this is I'm intimidated because I have lots of x's and multiple fractions, and it looks really hard to get x by itself somehow. But I want to show you a trick for these that really helps eliminate the number of steps you have to take. And so right away when you see the plus and minus, you might be thinking, okay, I need a common denominator in order to be able to add and subtract. You could totally do it that way. You could just get all of the denominators to match. But I think it's worth showing you a quick tip for problems like this. Okay, is there a way to somehow get rid of the fractions altogether? Well, you can think about what is the least common multiple of all of those three denominators. And perhaps we can multiply that in to every fraction in this problem and try to get rid of the actual fractions, because fractions just make things more complicated. Okay, so what is that LCM? Let's multiply this whole problem, left side and right side, by the LCM. The LCM, remember back to grade school, of 3 and 6 would be 6. And between x squared and x would be x squared, because we want something that will knock out every denominator somehow. Okay, so if I multiply 6x squared to everything, I'll get 6x squared on top, 6x squared on bottom. Remember, this is like over 1. Minus 6x squared over 6x equals 6x squared over 3x squared. Okay, so these two, one on top of the other, simplify down to 1. This 6 and 6 will cancel, and then an x squared over x will just be an x. And then this, the x squareds cancel, and we get a 2. By the way, one thing on canceling, if I had 6x over x, say, that would simplify to be 6 because the x's cancel. However, one thing that people really confuse that with is 6 plus x over x. Nothing cancels in that situation. If you imagined those x's canceling, you would end up with a 1 and a 1. 7 over the 1, that does not actually simplify to be 7 over 1. And so, or the 6 does not simplify to be that 7 over 1. So you can see with just plugging any random number in for x, that would not actually be the same. Just a little side note. Okay, so solve minus 1, negative x equals 1, so x must equal negative 1. Okay, final answer. X is equal to negative 1. Let's use the same tactic for this one. Looks a little bit harder. Okay, so when I'm using operations with these rationals, I typically will try to get everything factored so I can see everything in its most factored form. Now I can take an x out of this and this. And once again, I'm thinking of what's that thing that I'm going to multiply the whole problem by and knock out all the denominators. Well, I need an x to knock out the denominators here, and then I need also an x minus 8. So if I start multiplying that all in, I'm getting x times x minus 8 over x minus 8 plus x minus 8, x minus 8 equals 4x minus 8, x minus 8. Okay, now the fun part. These will cancel. These will cancel, so this will just be 1 over 1. These cancel, and so we're left with x plus 1 equals 4. Solve on both sides by subtracting 1, and we get x is equal to 3. Okay, let's move on to some practice for you. Try these if you want to. Think about what would that LCM on both sides be. I'll give you a second to write this down if you need to. I'm going to show the answers in just a sec. Answers are here. Both are improper fractions. And last thing I always want to show you is a quote to keep you going. This one is one of my favorites. The better you are at surrounding yourself with people of high potential, the greater your chance for success. I think this is so true, especially in a high school setting. We always want to make sure that we have peers around us who help us be the best version of ourselves. So I hope this video has benefited you either with a math course or prepping for a standardized test. Now that you've had some time to ponder that fun question, make sure you write your answer in the comments below. And if you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Feel free to turn on notifications and make sure that you keep up with the new videos. Have a great day.